What's up? Don't need the background noise. I'm going to put this up so I can actually have chat. Because hopefully I'm going to do some stuff. And what's up, Brian? No idea. What's up, Ethan's dad and Brian? And that's it. Two people. What do I expect after the first, minute? So, anyways, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's bright, it's sunny, but I can't go outside because it's windy and freaking cold out. Working on a video. I was going to do that. I haven't done one yet. My mindset just isn't, I literally have it all set up. I was going to do a video today and I can't. So I was like, you know what? I'll just stream for a half an hour, goof off, see if I can clear my brain to get it done. I need better cameras. That's what I really need. Actually, the camcorders aren't bad, and I got 2 of them. But I don't know. I just can't get them to do what I want them to do. I'm not good at it. Anyway, that's life. I'm wearing my awesome shirt. I don't know if you saw my post. I pulled this out again this morning, and I was like, you know what? I wonder how long I've had this thing. I've had it almost 25 years. The shirt is almost 25 years old. And it is awesome. And I have still yet to see the movie that it advertises. Sad, isn't it? Very, very sad. So anyway, what are you guys up to besides, hanging out on this here Saturday morning? Pretty sure the whole country is like cold and windy, isn't it? Not too many storms, but weather-wise, it's just cold. I mean, it is winter. Sergio. Yeah, it's not so much the practice, it's the mindset. I gotta be in the right mindset. Otherwise, I make the video and then I waste like 2 hours. And then I go into editing and I waste another hour. And after an hour, I look at it and go, that's freaking garbage, and delete the whole thing and start over. And I just wasted 4 hours. You're in like northern Texas though, aren't you, Brian? I don't know exactly where. I know you're in Texas somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. Yeah, it's a movie. It's believe it or not, this is how old this is. I worked at a video store, the old VHS cassettes, and you rented them, and beta. There was actually beta, because beta 2. That's how long ago it was, and it was a promo for the movie. It's the guys from Mighty Python, basically. It was like a Mighty Python-y type of movie. Actually, I think it's the people that did what's the one with Eddie Murphy? Trading Places. Pretty much everybody from Trading Places is in it, and I think I'm not positive, but yeah, Be Kind, Rewind. Yep, used to have signs like that all over the place. Yeah, that was my part-time Saturday night and Sunday job for a friend of mine. She owned it and was having a baby and was overworked for like 6 months while she was pregnant, and just after I worked at the video store for her just to. Yes, Betamax was definitely better quality. It's just like HD DVDs were actually kind of better than Blu-ray. I had both, and I kind of liked the HD DVD at the time better. The one advantage of the Blu-ray is you could put more information on the disc. The quality wasn't as good, but yeah, pretty much. It was cheaper. Well, VHS actually had better quality. Betamax was good quality in a much smaller package. I mean, the cassettes were about the size, they were just like a regular audio cassette, but double thick. VHS, they could put more information on it in stuff because it was a bigger tape. It's a little bit higher resolution. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, not important. Oh, somebody's coming up the driveway. Neighbor. Saw the sun reflecting off the windshield. It is bright and sunny here and extremely cold. I shouldn't say extremely. It's actually above freezing. It's 34 degrees out. But it's very, very, very windy. And that ocean wind is just miserable if you go outside. It's just wet and yucky. And even though it's bright and sunny, it's got that moisture in the air. Blah, blah, blah. Wah, whining. Anyway, so I'm inside. Anybody want to jump in and hang out? I actually thinking of that, Brian. I need to talk to you because we were going to do the whole ender thing. I need measurements off an ender and some pictures so I know exactly what I'm doing because I don't have an ender and I can't afford an ender and I want to do a video that may directly involve enders and can't do it without an ender and I need someone with an ender that's basically stock to do it so I know how to model it properly for an ender because, ender. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of enders, I have nothing against them. They're actually a decent quality, cheap printer. They're just freaking everywhere. Yeah, whenever you got time, there's no big rush. I just kind of wanted to get started on it this weekend, so hopefully by next week I could have it all ready. Because you'll have to beta test it for me too, which won't be hard. It's like a 5-minute install, if that. The print will take longer than the install. But anyway, it's not a big deal. You got an ender the 3 that's almost stock. What's not stock on it? What have you modified? Yeah, hard to describe. That's why I wanted to just take 10 minutes and video chat, but we'll figure it out later. Maybe tonight or tomorrow. Whatever's convenient for you. Hot end flex plate. That really doesn't matter. Yeah, this afternoon for you, tonight for me. Oh, there you go. Easy ABL. That's too modified. The flex plate I can deal with. What's up, Marcus? Yeah, but what? Easy ABL. You gotta turn off your YouTube audio. You're back feeding. Earbuds. I wish I had an iPhone that was new instead of ancient, because then I could use your little scanning software, because that looks really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Are you giving that away, or are you going to try and sell it for $1 or $2?
So I was considering giving it away for free and just using it to promote Ethan's channel. And then we had a conversation. I said, Ethan, so, do you want to just give it away and try to promote your channel? Or do you want to charge money for it and try to make money? We can buy stuff for making, buy a resin printer and buy stuff. He's really into the hydroponic gardening and he wants a lot more stuff for that. He was all about the money. So we kind of mutually agreed to try to make some money off of it.
Well, here's my thing on it. For one, I think there's like one or two other ones out there, but they're like hundreds of dollars, aren't they?
Yeah, so everyone seems to know about Scandy Pro, and I'm guessing our scans are going to be the same because we're using the same hardware, right? We're using the same sensor off the same device. But used to be you had to do a subscription model on Scandy Pro, which is cheap at first, but it adds up over time. They did eventually.
Subscription.
What's interesting is while I was still working on my scanner app, like a week before I could release it, they came out with a lifetime price. So they do have a price now. You pay once and you unlock it forever, but it's $100. But
yeah,
yeah.
I'm thinking where you know make it affordable, but still make it somewhat profitable. I mean, your time's worth money. Blah blah blah. It's not an easy thing to do. It's something I could never frickin' do. But $100 I would not pay for a toy, basically. It's interesting. It's cool. How often I would use it is probably limited. So $100 is expensive for me.
I don't know.
Reality,
okay, go ahead.
In reality, I would think $50 I would pay and use it. 25 would make me happy. 10 would get it out there. See, I've learned one thing in doing stuff like that. When I used to do construction and everything, we discovered that we could make more money by charging less because we'll sell more. Now, the disadvantage for something like you're doing is not only do you have more out there, you're making a little less money per unit, but all of a sudden your service is going to become a nightmare because everybody in the world's going to be trying it. And half of those people have no clue what the hell they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's reality. I mean, you're going to be people going, what the hell did I do wrong? And it just happens. I mean, even the smartest people in the world sometimes can't figure out something stupid. You know?
Yeah.
I
definitely try to make the app easy. Scandy Pro is a lot of settings. I have no settings.
Yeah, but that's again that not to give it, just throwing it out there, but like a $10 or $15 app, people are going to buy it and try it.
Right.
If it's $100, it's kind of deterrent. Unless, I mean, people that are going to do it for professional scanning, like Scan the World, and they're doing the whole thing on My Mini Factory and everything, where they're trying to scan all the art in the world. That's cool. If I had $100 to blow, I would go around and do Scan the World with them and scan art and, upload 3D prints and blah, blah, blah. Then it's worth it. But that's a very limited, use case. Where yours, it seems to me, you kind of want it to be more like a fun toy. Not really a toy, but you know what I mean? You want it to be more of a fun thing than a perfect thing.
I really don't think the scan quality is enough. See, I don't know what like Scandy Pro's target demographic is, because I really don't. At $100, you'd think it was a prosumer type thing, but I really don't think the scan quality you can get out of that scanner hits that market. They're going to go for the $500 scanners, or the hand scanners, like that Rebel Point that's coming out, and they're not going to pay $100. So really, I think you have to target, the teenagers who want to play around with it for a day, and people like us, the 3D printing consumers who are just going to use it for own use and not try to make money off of it.
Right. And that's just it. You could almost do two licenses, like a hobby license and a professional license.
Right.
Sure, people are going to just do it and steal it, but there are enough honest people in the world that if you have a professional license, and maybe give them a bonus. I don't know what, because again, I don't know enough about programming to even say it, but have like a $50 pro license where they get extra service or they get input on designing of the next version, something to give them a little bonus. But
Right.
I mean, there are honest enough people that they will pay a few pennies more for something.
Well,
I mean,
what's interesting about scanning is like you could pay $2 and get it for just a week, right? And so, I mean, maybe that does hit the other demographic as well. But mine's, if you are 3D printing and you want to export an STL file, it's $6.99 currently, and that's forever. Whereas if you just want to do videos, it's $2 and that's forever. If you just want to play on with doing 3D selfies and sharing the videos and stuff,
yeah,
it's $2. But I'm not trying to beat them on price because I don't want to get in a price war. That is the last thing I want. I really do think my scanner app is easier to use. And it's a different demographic. Like I said, I don't think our customers are the same people. So
yeah.
I'm really not trying to compete with them.
The thing is people are going to pay theirs because it was the only one out there until now when you came out with yours.
Right.
So now yours is more. I'm getting the feeling that you're more hobby based. You want to just make it available without.
Right.
So, whatever. I think it's cool. I think the technology in general is just that you can take a freaking phone now,
Mm-hmm.
just like and get a model. It's just amazing. I mean, think about it. What, 2 years ago they were setting up huge booths with 50 or 100 cameras. You stand in it to get the same thing. Granted, those were probably slightly better quality, but really just slightly better quality.
Right.
In 2 years.
The photogrammetry booths, they're actually more expensive than like the nicer hand scanners, but you have so many more options. The person doesn't have to stand still. Like you can capture a moment in time. Like you can even do a cat, who doesn't not going to hold still for you, or or a dog. And you can jump in the air and it's going to capture you in an instant. The quality isn't as good as with the actual hand scanner, but it's still better than what I have. It's still better than what I can do on the phone. Not much better. So, but those photogrammetry booths start at $50,000. The nice hand scanners that can get better than mine used to start at $5,000, but then that Rebel Point just came out, which is $500.
Yeah, but again,
when
you get into that too, I mean, even what little I play with 3D now, when you get that much detail, not only are you paying for the hardware to do the scanning, but then you need like a $5,000 computer to work with that file because it's freaking huge.
Right.
When you get lag, where again you're working with people that have decent computers. Most people I know have a halfway decent computer, but they're not running monster smashing video cards that. Although a lot of people are now because of video gaming.
Yeah, I guess because you do have to have a computer, and it's $500. That's a totally different market than the one I'm into. So maybe you don't have to worry about that so much.
I don't know. It's totally up to you. But if you were going to charge, I wouldn't get expensive. I would just more like some people bitch at me because if you go to like on Colts or Gumroad, I have like half a dozen models that I charge $1 for. And they're like, oh, why is everything else free and you're charging $1 for these? Because it's not that I'm charging $1. It's you should give me $1 every once in a while to keep me going, kind of thing. It's like, thanks for the appreciation. It's a freaking $1.
Every other piece of software I've ever done has been free. Like, outside of what I do in my day job, making other people money. And I've always thought that somehow it would be a benefit in some way, donations and I've never.
They it's funny in all my years, like in Thingiverse and stuff. Not that I'm the greatest model, I'm no Lexter or freaking Photospin or any of those guys, but what's up, John? I've gotten like maybe 3 or 4 people, I don't even think people realize on Thingiverse you can tip your designer.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten $3 or $4 tips, and I think I got one that was like $5.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not doing anything like, here we go. Freaking expert.
What is
He's
that?
an expert on everything.
What does that mean?
No, just because you always, when you pop in, you're always.
I didn't realize my hair was fucked up. Sorry.
Oh no, take that off. No political BS.
I was kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I know. A lot of people give me grief because I keep fighting with you. And the one thing I always say, dude, just to get that out of the air is me and you can fight and disagree and call each other names and get the hell over it 5 minutes later. And that's why I don't mind bitching back and forth with you, because we both can just.
Some people take it
get mad, call each other names, and then 5 minutes later be like, whatever, let's go play with our 3D printers.
Most people take it super personal. Like that day, like the day Zolan made a comment, and then I go to try to comment back, and he already blocked me.
Yeah.
How are you, Marcus?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, man. Just woke up. It's early here.
No. Here's one political statement I will make. You do not want me in any political role at all. I am a freaking. I have zero patience for it.
I have some unpopular opinions, and so I don't share them.
Yeah, I would not. I would.
You know, truthfully, you know, like I, and you probably don't know this, but I voted for Obama, right? So like I was a big believer in Obama, but I think Obama is the one that kind of flipped me over to the other side, to be completely honest with you. Like all the bombs and the attacking other countries and shit just did not sit well with me.
There's a lot. We're not going to get into it. There's a lot I disagree with in Obama, and I've always said I'm neither party, even though I definitely lean more Democratic nowadays. But anyway, we're not going to get into politics. Oh my God, it's deep. Well, we're just not going to go there right now. Anyway.
So,
when you buy in that fancy new printer, you keep like posting on.
I don't know. That's how you know I'm thinking about it, huh? Because I'm like obsessed with it. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. The problem I have with it, the only issue I have with it is it's really just a rail core. It's kind of a rail core with just the problems fixed, which are the rail cars. The rail core's problems for me is the linear rails are all mounted sideways, and what I've learned is that if they have any backlash on the parts, it's usually if they're on the side, that's where you get the backlash from. So
they're mounted on the inner horizontal face.
Well, they're mounted facing up, right? So like that's the way that linear rails are supposed to work, where the load is spread evenly across it, and the rail core they're mounted sideways. Right. So you can take the whole extruder assembly and you can kind of click it. You can see there's a little variance in it.
Right.
But it's basically a rail core. I mean, it's got the same bed as a rail core.
Yeah, you can almost take your rail core and just modify some of the parts and make it.
Yeah, he put a stronger frame on it, which is good, and he fixed that. All the linear rails are mounted mounted facing up.
Yeah, they're actually on top now, right?
Yeah, and the rail car's got this funky little Bowden tube between the motor and the extruder, because they're mounted so that it sits backwards over, so it sits over the linear rail like this, so that it's supposedly so it's balanced, but it creates a Bowden tube right here.
Which I kind of agree with, and I kind of don't. I prefer the shorter filament.
Well, it causes everybody problems. So
yeah, I just don't think it's set up right.
Right. So when you look at it, it's kind of like you have to deal with Bowden problems with a direct drive, basically. It'll push the tubes out, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I just don't think it's set up right, because look at all the people that basically do the exact same thing when they convert like an ender into a direct drive. They're all, the motor with a little like 1 or 2 inch tube and then the hot end.
Right.
And it'll actually work. Granted, I mean, I much prefer the shorter that filament path is, the better. But in some instances, I totally agree with putting the weight balanced up over the extruder, or, over the motion system as much as you can.
Well, I just talked to Bondtech yesterday, and they're going to send me that new extruder, the LGX extruder.
That's the all-in-one kind of mix of a Hemera and everything all mixed together.
It's not just that, though. They put I don't know what the significance of this is, but they put big gears in it.
Yeah.
They're not really telling anybody, and I don't blame them, because they're the most copied extruder on the market probably. But they said they put bigger gears in it, bigger drive gears in it, and it's I think it's at least a 5-to-1. I don't know. We'll have to see what the E-steps are, but it looked really cool because you can attach the mosquito right to it, or you can do a Bowden, and it's got different like little plugs that go inside of it. So I'm pretty excited to get it. I'm hoping with this new slice, this hot end I'm testing, because while I can't show you what it looks like, it's like a mosquito, only it's a little bit longer. I'm hoping that with the rail core, I'll be able to just attach it right to the extruder direct, and I can eliminate having any kind of Bowden tube in there. So
yeah. Oh, because it was long enough so it'll drop down below the extruder.
Right.
Carriage, whatever you're using for a rod carriage extruder.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I liked about this thing. I don't know. They have one, that's like an all built-in one now that they still haven't quite released. People are still beta testing it, but they've been hinting at it. That's kind of like Hemera or this thing.
That's what it is. That's the LGX.
Yeah, but that doesn't. You don't use the slice. It's an extruder built into the hot.
On the LGX, you can take on the bottom of it. It screws into it. There's 4 different plugs. There's one where you can mount a mosquito directly to it. There's one that has a Bowden tube adapter, and then there's one where you can connect just a heat sink to it, or you can just thread a heat block into it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the orbiter. It's kind of like how the orbiter is designed. So
see, the one I was looking at looked like this, because what people don't realize with this is it's not your standard like heat block and then your cooling fins mounted to it like the old MK8s.
Yeah.
Which the Hemera, if you look at it and you go really down to the basics, it's an MK8 base style motor, a big aluminum block. It's not very big on the Hemera, and then your fan ducts on the other side, and it all gets sandwiched.
What's on that printer?
It's actually keyed. You've got your motor, you've got your heat block, but the cooling fins are on the end of the heat block. And he shifted the actual filament path closer to the outer edge through all the gearing and everything. So it's not like having to, go through a big long.
What is it, an Omnia drop? Or?
Yeah, the Omnia drop.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking to him on Twitter, and I was trying to get him to just send me the parts and let me print it myself, but he didn't want to. He don't want to do that.
Nope. He did that for a while, and it gave him lots and lots.
The problem is, though, he's not going to sell very many of them, because, I mean, for me, it's not about the money, but I don't want to dump another $200 into a extruder assembly if I know I don't like it. So
yeah, it is. It's expensive.
I just haven't seen enough online to say like that's definitively what I want. So
it may or may not be. My biggest thing is I have used one. I really like it. There are a couple of disadvantages to it, mostly noise for me, which kind of kills it, because I already did it. I did it yesterday. I put a quieter fan on it. The problem with the quieter fan is it doesn't it's not pushing as much air. It doesn't distribute the heat as well. So
what I'm worried about is on the rail core. I'm not worried about the noise because I got a room for my printers, but the thing that I'm worried about, that ring. I like the ring heater idea with the thermistor built in. I think that's awesome, but I'm really concerned about, like, on this printer. This printer's printing normally at least 200 millimeters a second on the wall. That's what I'm wondering. Like, is it gonna run out of temperature? You know?
Yeah, no, it won't keep up with it. It's too small and too low. You know, whatever amperage, wattage.
Yeah, you can see like it's doing a perimeter right now, but when it does the infill, it starts hauling ass.
Yeah. No, it can't keep up with that because that's what I was saying with the quiet fan.
Yeah.
It doesn't distribute the heat as well, so I have to print a little bit slower, or else I could literally melt the unit.
Yeah.
It won't be able to cool it as fast with that quiet fan. But
It's-
that's
it's
not
like-
a
What printer is that?
That's a
Huh?
it's a rail core with and it has it's really just a stock rail core, but it's got a slice. I don't know what they're calling it, but it's like I guess I'll call it a Magnum high flow. It's like a Magnum hot-end, only it's got a high flow block, copper block on it, and 2 heaters. So it can go like I can seriously push that thing at 400 millimeters. The printer will start falling apart before it starts running out of material, basically. Actually, the extruder, the Bondtech extruder, will start falling apart before the hot end starts under extruding. Who's that? She's like staring at you. Who is that? Who's that?
And Tom, what printer do you have back there?
Huh?
Tom, what printer do you have that you put the new fan on?
Oh, that's your
Llama.
ANET, right? Llama?
What?
That's your ANET, right? He's asking what printer that is. You put the
Oh yeah, it was an ANET. It's the pumpkin. There's not much of the ANET left.
You see my dog? She's staring at this. This is sitting right behind the camera. She said she doesn't like this thing.
Oh, what's that? The Batman.
You don't like that?
Fotis Mint did.
I should just let her chew it. But
Is that a Fotis or a Wexter?
that's a Eastman, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I have to turn it around backwards so she can't stare at it, or she'll start barking at it. She's deaf and dumb. Huh.
What fan did you put on there, Llama? Did you find a Sunon right size, or what kind did you put on there?
What?
What kind of fan did you put on there? What brand?
You can now get, it's amazing, but you can get 5015s that are quiet now.
Yeah, but it's a radial fan, right?
Yeah, it's a regular blower fan.
It's one of those little square ones, Marcus.
It came with a little square one.
Usually those fans are super anemic, though. I don't know where he gets I'd like to know where he gets the high flow, where he gets those high flow fans, because I've tried to find those for the Artemis and I can't find them. They're all weak. Every time I get them, they're super weak. Yeah, it's like DJing ping, right?
The Prusa Mark III actually had, well, it's partly due to the extruder design and the way that the airflow was designed, but they did improve it over time. But the fan was a little weak because they put those quiet fans on there. I forget what the brand is, but
You can't. He has these special made for him.
Yeah.
These things push a buttload of air.
You want to sell it? How many you got?
I got a couple of them now.
Are they 12 volt?
Yeah.
I would love to have 3 of them for the Artemis, because the Artemis fans are just anemic.
These things, like, they push a buttload of air, but they are screaming loud.
But yeah, Marcus, I got one too. See?
so I mean, you can replace those fans with this. It's a brand called Sunon, and they have maglev bearings, so they have decent airflow, but they're also pretty quiet.
So mine has the Bondtech extruder on it, and I a long time ago I went away from the Noctua. Well, when we first got the Noctuas, I put a screwdriver through it, and because of Prusa, you could not find those fans anywhere. Like Prusa like sucked up the whole market on those Sunon fans. And so when I put a screwdriver through it, I had one choice, was to order it from him. So, or not the Sunon, but the Noctua.
Right.
So at the time, I was still talking to Chris Workaki, and he suggested a Sunon fan. So that's what I have on them now. Is I just put Sunon fans on them, but they seem to do a good job. But mine has I put a mosquito on it too. that Bondtech extruder with the mosquito is awesome.
I've never touched an extruder just because of the cost of extruder upgrades based on the overall price of the printer.
That's just so funny though when you think about it. Here you are, kind of hedging and hollering about the $200.
I know
it's not quite $200, and you put a Bondtech with a mosquito, which is like almost twice that.
No. Hold on, back up. So I have so on that printer right there, that was a $99 upgrade for the Bondtech, right? The whole extruder assembly with the motor cost $99.
Yep.
And I think I've only actually paid for one mosquito, and I got 5 now, something like that. I had 5. I sold one on my Sidewinder, but no. I paid for 2. I bought a Magnum and I bought a regular mosquito, but the rest of them were beta test units, or they've given me discounts on them.
Yeah, which is
and that's the other thing, Llama. Going away from like every printer that comes in my house is going to get a mosquito on it because I like being able to have a drawer full of heat breaks and blocks, and I like having all my parts for all my printers use the same parts, which is nice. So the same fans, the same nozzles, the same heat blocks. So, and I think slices. The other thing too is cool. Is slices. They're working with Bondtech, so that new extruder is going to come with. You can get it with a copperhead. You can get it with a mosquito. You can get it with a Magnum. Or that.
Yeah, I did see that. That looks cool.
Or the liquid cool.
No, I'm glad Slice is taking off because I'm hoping, 1, it's a nice small U.S. company, blah, blah, blah. 2, I'm hoping that as they get more and more popular and they produce more and more, their prices might come down a little bit, become more competitive to the average person.
They will. The one I don't talk to Dan a lot, but I probably talk to him every other week, and we talk about the clones pretty frequently, and you can tell he's scared to talk about the clones publicly but behind the scenes, they're frustrated that kind of started copying their hot ends, and like Fetus 3D or whatever they are.
Yeah,
those guys are just assholes, frankly. But they stole their intellectual property and just totally deny it. And if you bring it up, they block them. But anyways, now they're the one thing that Dan said is like what people don't realize is that drives the prices up. It goes the other way because they feel like they have to keep modifying and innovating. And every time they make a change, the cost gets more and more. So they're focused on, they're pushing the product forward to try to, get ahead of the Chinese market because they just keep copying them, So,
yep. Well, they have patents on most of it.
They do, and they have lawsuits, by the way, too. I mean, they didn't give me great detail on them, but the problem is China
it ends up costing them money to fight it, and it ends up being more money than it's worth in the long run.
Well, last I heard, they do have a something legal going on, and they have a patent in China that covers China, but trying to sue somebody there is like impossible. So it just sucks, And the thing that pisses me off is I see like this model. If I put this model on Etsy, right? Batman, look how nice that print is, by the way, super nice. But if I put this on Etsy, right, and I said, hey, I'm going to sell this for $20, people on Twitter would lambaste me. It would be they'd send the dogs out after me, right? But people openly support Fetus 3D that openly kind of openly steals from E3D and steals from Slice, and it's no big deal. Drives me. I don't understand. It's like a double standard.
Yeah,
it's a lot of E3D stuff open source though, so it's different. Like
it is, but even open source says you're supposed to show attribution, right? So like on the Fetus hot end, there's no attribution for E3D or Slice. And my thing is like either be righteous or don't be righteous. You can't pick and choose what you're going to be righteous about. You can't stand on your moral high ground if you're not going to be consistent, in my opinion. So, but I think Slice is coming out with some cool stuff that he said it's going to take the Chinese 5 years to catch up. So
cool.
Yeah, until they just grab one of his and then copy it exactly.
Well, like that Bondtech, that's going to take them a while to figure out. I think.
No, I doubt it.
I hope so. It just sucks that they have to even worry about it.
Well, it is life in general.
Yeah. Like Omnia Drop.
Talking about cheap Chinese crap.
China's going to come for Omnia Drop too. Just wait.
These are like 3 months old.
Where are they? Wrenches?
Nail.
Oh. You use nail clippers?
A habit of falling apart.
China goes after where the money's at. Yeah, so if I'm gonna drop,
I got 4 of them for like $6.
Yeah, you're right, Marcus. So if they see Omnia Drop gets popular, right now Omnia Drop is not popular enough, but eventually it will be like the Voron. Look at the Voron. The difference in the Voron guys is they encourage it. Like they encourage being copied. They encourage them putting kits together, because it's good for them. But
well, that's just it. I don't know. I would think a good option for someone like Slice would be to see if they could, in the next round, find someone, not the Fitus or Fotis or whatever the hell it is there, Platius, whatever that copier name is, but find someone like, say, LDO or something like that, that will make a discounted copy that is stated as a copy, produced, this is the Chinese version, this is, our version, we sell them both. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, buying a Toyota Corolla or a Lexus. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're the same car, and yet they're not.
I just think we should try to protect, American companies because it does cost them so.
Totally agree.
I think
it just costs them so much to produce here.
I think one way that U.S. companies can combat it, and just especially Slice, and I think they've done okay so far in this aspect, is just engage in the community, provide excellent customer support. And that's how you ultimately beat them, I think.
Yeah,
and
most of the people that buy the knockoffs wouldn't buy the original anyways because they just wouldn't. They don't.
Well,
they
one of the things I talked to Dan about is, because I started telling people like Zach 3D Prints or 3D Make It in Canada, they're all doing the Fadis. They're showing these Fadis hot ends on it, and so I've started keeping track of it, and I send them to Slice, and then Slice contacts them, and then sends them a Slice hot end. And they've done that about 4 times now. Like Zach just got some Slice hot ends because I sent them to Dan. Because one of the things I told him is like, if you really want a nice hot end and you can't afford it, if you reach out to them, they will help you. They will do something to make it work for you, whether it be payments or they've done payments for people, they've discounted for people, they've thrown some things in for people, and Slice is really good about that. Because for them at this point, I think they would rather you have the real thing and not sell it for full price than you be making videos about their knockoff competitor. So that's another cool thing about them. But you're right, the customer service is top notch with Slice, and they do a great job. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Just like everyone bitching about Prusa. Yeah, you can buy an ender and put it together and have a halfway decent printer for a third the frickin' price of a Prusa. But what do you do when something goes wrong?
Yeah.
With Prusa, you go, hey, something went wrong.
And then online
ender, you go online and you hit Facebook and get 800 wrong answers for the one right one.
I had Prusa send me so many parts from my Prusa in the first year, like I thought the power supply was going bad. They sent me a new power supply. My board caught on fire. They sent me a new board. And I'm talking like 2 days to my house, like really, really good.
DHL.
Yeah.
Try that with freaking Creality. That ain't going to happen.
I know. Actually, Prusa does a great job with shipping, man. Like they can get stuff to you mostly in 2 or 3 days, but I replaced a bunch of stuff on mine under warranty, and they were great about it. You know, of course, that's when Shane was working there, or when Shane was running it. So, but yeah,
Oh,
I love that.
You're in the UK, you're screwed if you're in the UK right now.
I know. Hey, Llama, let's talk about. Have you seen Filament Frenzy's posting on that LOL spot?
I
posted
glanced at it. Yeah, the new hot end and everything is totally different.
Dude, that printer is $4,000. $4,000. And I hate to be that guy, but like when I couldn't help myself. I'm like, this printer is $4,000, and it's got linear rods like a Prusa, and it's got IGUS bearings like kind of like a Prusa, and I'm like, it's $4,000. Dude, that's like 5 Prusas. I mean,
yeah, but here's the difference.
And it's got a
mosquito. It's mostly U.S. made.
Got a mosquito, big deal.
It's UL listed for real. You know, it's past all that. Again, that's the big problem with making something like that in the U.S. is we have so many regulations, and somewhat justifiably so, that they have to spend all the time, energy, and money to pass all these regulations, go above and beyond what we deal with, to make sure it's safe.
$4,000.
I agree. I always thought Lowe's was
for that
overpriced.
You could buy a car for that.
My biggest thing with the Lowe's bots is that they're so expensive. Fine. I don't have a problem with being expensive. Ultimakers are expensive. Raise 3Ds are expensive. They're not really much different than anything else. The print quality on a Lowe's bot is not that great.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm glad they went to a slight hot end. I think that's a good move. But at the end of the day, it's a well-built. It is a nicely built printer, but it's still got linear rods. It's still got LMA or LM8U bearings in it, and it's got a slice hot end, which is like probably the best part, and it's got a touch screen, which is good. But that part collectively, I mean that printer, they're building that printer for under $1,000 for sure, and they're targeting schools. That's their whole thing is education, and I couldn't help. I just said, look, for $4,000, not one single person I know is going to buy this printer, because you could buy 4 or 5 Prusas for it. Why would you? And they responded and they said
schools can't buy Prusas. Schools can't buy Prusas.
But they
medical facilities can't buy Prusas.
Have to buy U.S.
Huh?
Do they have to buy U.S. stuff?
No,
you don't have to buy U.S. stuff.
No, why
can't they buy Prusas?
Because it doesn't pass the UL listings. It's not safe. It's never been fireproof.
My son's
the Lowe's bot is proven to be a safe electronic,
But Llama, my kid's 3D printing lab at his high school doesn't have a Prusa in it, but they do have MakerBot. They have a CME CNC Delta in there. They have Enders in there. A lot of Enders in there. And they have a lot of monoprice minis in there too. Tons of them.
Here's the big catch: is the insurance companies won't pay if the place burns down.
Well, I'm just saying. I get
insurance.
Anybody that does business with schools know that schools put a budget out, right? And at the end of the year, schools are actually saying, "Hey, we have $8,000 left," and they actually have to spend it, right? Or they lose it. So they're buying printers left and right at $4,000, and I just can't get over like you're trying to either go after. I can't believe that many schools are buying that many of those printers versus how many hobbyists would buy a Lowe's bot if they were $1,000 or less. If you could buy a Lowe's bot for $1,000, I think they would sell them hand over fist. You know what I mean? Maybe not with the slice hot end as an option or something. Maybe $1,500, but that's the reason they went out of business, and it'll be the reason they go out of business again. They're going to go bankrupt again.
Just like what's his name? Was it Printerbot when he went under?
Yeah.
Because he was building basically a Prusa Mini and charging close to $1,000 for it because he was literally having everything U.S. made, and it was costing him a buttload, and nobody was buying because I can buy an Ender for freaking half this money. Why would I buy that?
The problem is if you're charging that much money, you have to keep innovating, especially software, and staying ahead. Because if you don't, someone's going to come in eventually that's cheaper than you and has a better product, and then you're just gone the next day.
Well, and that's what happened with Lulzbot is I think the hobbyist market blew up, and there were some people that had Lulzbots, but you never saw people on Twitter saying, "Oh, here's the print for my Taz 6." Very rarely, maybe Joel once in a while, but
look at the Lulzbot that freaking jokingly freaking printed solid and Joel sent to work hockey because nobody wanted it because it's a decent printer, but it's not a good printer.
Yeah,
not even. They're just not that great. They don't. If they had the print quality of a Raze or an Ultimaker, but they don't. They're just.
Raze is another one that's super expensive, and they're not that great of printers either.
Actually, they're pretty good. It's just they're very finicky, and they're not reliable.
Every person I've ever heard that had one, they have to replace the hot ends on it, and you shouldn't have to do that for $4,000.
No,
for a $4,000 or $5,000 printer. Yeah.
They were one of the first ones. Their big claim to fame is they were one of the first ones to go with a dropping bed in a large format.
Yeah.
I mean, they made their name in big printing, and they're still a good big printer. I mean, they're not the best, but I would take a Raze over a freaking CR10 any day of the week.
Yeah.
Granted, I wouldn't shell out the cash for one because I simply can't. But
the last company I worked for, they had a printer, and they bought a Lulzbot. And not to be honest, I was new to printing at that time. I didn't know about any of the brands, but Lulzbot has its fanboys too, just like Prusa does. And I think that's the whole reason they bought it. But supposedly, being in the U.S., they do get decent support for it. But the one thing I like about the Lulzbot over the Prusa is the style of the frame. It's more of a box, and so it's just mechanically more sound.
Lulzbot's got some cool stuff. Like they got the nozzle wiper. They got like a nozzle wiper macro built into it, which is kind of cool. And the way they level on those metal plates on the corners, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad printers. I don't know that they're good printers or bad printers, but for $4,000, man, is like, I mean, you could buy a refrigerator with a TV in it for $4,000. Like with a TV in it. With a TV in it.
Yeah. They need to do something amazing with that software.
Yeah. Really. You could buy 10,000 of these hats for that same amount of money.
Yeah, but those come from China too.
And you're supporting a good cause. No, it's not. These are made in America.
No, those are made in China, dude. That's new if it says made in the USA. That was one of the bitches when he first started getting them. Is he's like, oh, support a U.S. company. And blah, blah,
well, most of the people, most of the ones you see are fake. I bought that from his website.
Yeah, whatever.
But let's talk about expensive printers. So this is, I mean, this printer right here, the Artemis. I mean, that is when I bought this, it was $24.50 delivered to my door, which isn't bad considering the shipping is probably $400, right? And that's a great printer, and you can buy that printer right now for $17.50, I think.
Yeah, well, that's just it. You can buy other U.S. made printers that are, as good if not better, have more features for
where he's got
freaking money.
Where he's got an advantage is he's got a injection molding machine, and so like the stuff that's there, most of the stuff's not printed on here, but he injection molds a lot of stuff for his printers, and it's pretty sweet, And I just read that Prusa is going to start doing that too, which is smart.
Yep, they already are. They started injection molding their like front plates of the Mini and stuff.
The problem is they can't get away from they're not going to get away from printing because it's so much of their DNA. You know, their DNA is printing their parts. Could you imagine getting a Prusa with all injection molded parts on it?
Wouldn't bother me either way. I'd almost rather have the injection molded.
It gets away from the rep wrap thing, right? So the rep wrap. I mean, the whole thing with the printer is that it printed itself by another printer. So if you have an injection molding machine, it's gonna. I suspect they're doing it because it's more profitable, probably, to injection mold.
Oh, you know, way more profitable once you got the machine. The machine costs a buttload, but once you have it,
once you get the die cut, that's what the guy seen with CNC. Once you have the die cut, I mean, like the spools for Atomic, he makes the spools for Atomic. And I don't know if you've ever seen the video, but once the die's cut, they just sit there and they just go boom, 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 boom.
Well, you see it, they released a video when he did the dies for the face mask when the whole COVID thing hit. Yeah. And you watch him, and he's not only is he printing out, you know, a press a second, it does like 20.
Yeah.
But you, like that video where you see the, you know, the dies come together and injects, and then he's like standing on the other side, and you see that big ass grin on his face. And I think it's called near, and they're just dropping.
People are trying to figure out how to 3D print at a time. Meanwhile, people are trying to 3D print like 3 of them at a time, and it's taking 10 hours. You know, that is the injection molding process is pretty dope.
Yeah, as long as you can modify your part to. There is an advantage to 3D printing, is there's things 3D printing can do that injection molding simply can't.
Yeah, well, he's got a full
complicated for the dies to fit together and be reliable.
Yeah, they're a full-blown machine shop, though. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
the advantage of Prusa 3D printing their parts for such a long time is like you can see the revision and change over time. Every time you go on their website, you can download all those parts so you can print them yourself.
That's true.
Revisions just keep changing because they keep improving over time. Well, if a part hasn't changed in maybe like a year, then and it is a shape that they can injection mold, why wouldn't you switch over, right?
Yeah, injection molding is stronger, more stable.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. You can use more materials. You can use better materials. I mean, to be honest, if I were injection molded, I'd probably be doing everything polycarbonate.
Jesus.
On printers.
My dog is shedding like crazy, man. Good Lord.
It's called a dog. That's what they do.
I got her because she was short haired, but man, she is like, come here. But she is like shedding like crazy.
Get a Flowbee.
Can you say hi?
Get a Flowbee.
Say hi. Don't be a butthead.
What's up, dog?
She can't hear you.
Right.
Say I'm down.
I would try her dogs too, because you don't have to pay for the grooming, right? Now, you do have to vacuum a lot, but to be honest, I prefer that than having to pay for a groomer like every.
Marcus, I vacuum. I bought a robot vacuum, so it vacuums while I'm at work, and I vacuum every single day when I get home from work. Every single day.
Yeah, I usually vacuum once or twice a day. I vacuum right around here.
Well, my last dog was a white dog like this, but he was short, really, really short haired, and like you could hardly see his hair. But this dog's hair is just long enough to drive me nuts. Huh. Sit. I'm teaching her sign language.
I don't know. Do they make a tool changer for? I don't think the tool changer is on the rail cord, are they?
Yeah, they have one.
Do they?
Yeah, in fact, I think Project R3D has one actually.
Well, they have one for the Dentalist, don't they? That I do know.
Yeah, he's got an actual tool changer. But if you look on GitHub, there's a tool changer available for it.
Yeah, that's another thing I have zero interest in, just like the built printers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're cool as crap. I think the tool changer idea is freaking smashing. I think the belt printers are a brilliant idea. I just don't see a use case for them for me.
Well, if you're going to buy a Lulzbot, buy a tool changer with all 5 tools or all 4 tools.
Oh, I would. I wouldn't buy a Lulzbot.
You'll still have money left over to put a spool of filament on each extruder. So,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, everyone keeps showing off these new multi-use printers, that have lasers and routers and, CNC built in. And the one thing I do not see is buying a 3D printer with a CDC attached or CNC attached, because a CNC is going to frickin' destroy it. It's just going to destroy it. It makes too much dirt. It makes too much mess.
I don't even think that's a thing, is it? Can you even do that?
Oh yeah, they have CNC. The fancy, real expensive little ones could do. You can only do like 4-inch square CNCs, but they use a little mini spindle. What the hell? There's like 2 or 3 of them out now. They all kind of look alike.
So they said that okay, I see what you're talking about. So Jesse Foreman asked about the tool changer. Yeah, so he did say that he's working on a tool changer. It'll use the E3D components. So if you want to convert the data list to it, you're going to need it's going to use all E3D components. So, which is good because they're at least available. So,
yeah, and why not support the people that actually designed it and spent the time and energy to do it?
Yeah. Why isn't Shane on here? No,
I don't know.
Must be having a bad hair day.
When is he not having a bad hair day?
I know, right? But $4,000, man, for a little spot.
Even the lasers, I mean, they put out so much smoke and crap, and it's just.
I have no interest in lasers. I have no interest in resin printing at all. I mean, maybe if they ever get a resin printer that's like 300 by 300, I would be interested, but I don't know.
Again, that's something I have interest in, but it's so messy and sloppy and just a headache to deal with it all. And I keep hearing these people like, oh, it's cool, and you get over all that. And it's like, yeah, no.
I think
I have a hard time with the mess that this thing makes. I don't like that. That mess over there that I keep in that corner. I mean, it was worse when I didn't have the closet, when my mother still had junk in that closet, and those were out here. It drove me nuts. That's why I got rid of the little printer, not because there was anything wrong with it. I actually loved that little printer. But it was just one more piece of crap in my way, and I wasn't using it enough. And it's like, I hate clutter. I just hate clutter.
I do too, but my office gets cluttered. But I think you either got to go one way or the other. You're either going to go all resin, because now the resin printers are getting big. Like if it were me and they came out with a resin printer, it was 300 by 300 by 400 probably, and resin was affordable and it wasn't as messy. I don't know. I would switch over to it. But the problem I don't like about resin printing is there's zero challenge in it. Like once you figure out how to start the print, it's kind of like anybody can do it, I think. So, part of the fun for me is all this shit that I print, I end up giving it away or I throw it away. So I take it to work, and all my employees bring their kids in. Probably, I don't know, once a month. Probably they bring their kids in, and their kids just have a field day and grab all the shit and leave. So I don't print for profit or nothing. And so for me, it's like the part of the fun is getting it to print good, consistently.
I think it depends on what you're printing. If you're printing, sculptures, especially miniatures, if you're doing Dungeons and Dragons or stuff, resin makes so much sense. But for most mechanical things, I imagine FDM is going to give you a better result.
I'm with you, Jesse. I would love a CNC machine, but it would be a CNC machine. It wouldn't be a CNC machine, laser cutter, 3D printer, all in one. They're all similar machines. I just don't see them combining well. I mean, can you do it? Sure. Is it an intelligent idea? No.
What does it say that, like, some of these printers, like, I see a lot of people talking about CNC. Like, they build these printers completely out of CNC aluminum. And it kind of sucks because 3D printing is not to a point that it's as good or as strong as you have to mill your parts out. I think that's mostly unnecessary because you should be able to print good parts.
For what? Oh, to hop in? I'm sorry.
Who's that? Oh, Dan?
Yeah.
But I just don't think you should have to have a CNC to build a strong, good printer.
I think most of your, like, Mom was talking about the CNC machines that are kind of 3D printers as well. They're only, I guess that's called 3-axis. I think for a decent CNC, you need at least 4 or 5.
For a CNC?
To get those undercuts.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool to do like a 5-axis printer, a 5-axis 3D printer. I've seen some concepts of that too.
And when I before COVID, I went to craft and maker shows all the time, and about 10% of the stuff there is something to do with laser and wood. There are so many interesting, cool things you can do, with that. I wouldn't mind having a glow forge, but it's not in the budget,
How much is a Glowforge? 10,000?
I think it's like 5,000.
Oh, so it's like the price of a Lulzbot. That just does 3D printing. Dan the man.
Yeah, I look a little rough this morning. I apologize. I got the email alert that said, "Hey, your Jesse box arrived." Finally, only 3 days later than it should have, but whatever. It made it. U.S. Post. Thanks for being speedy there. So I ran downstairs and grabbed it, came out here, and just did a quick little stream that was like, "Hey, look, here's what's in the box." So
don't forget,
and that's why there's a bunch of Jesse sitting here behind me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right now. I got 2 more on the way. So
you guys ought to try this new this company that Filament Frenzy turned me on to, the Ad North in Sweden. Dude, their filament is the best, the coolest looking filament I've ever seen. Like just the color combinations. They do like a gold and a black, or a black with gold in it, just like Filamentum. It's $20 a roll, shipped to your door from Sweden.
Wow,
that's not bad at all.
Sweden, huh?
What brand is it?
I'll show you.
Yeah, put a link in the chat or something.
Yeah, something north. That's all I know.
I'm a buy U.S. filament guy. I prefer to buy U.S. filament, but I don't mind. I don't mind European or supporting the small company. I prefer, and I don't have anything against Chinese filament. I mean, I've bought Paramount 3D. I'm pretty sure is Chinese, and it's freaking awesome.
But check this out. Every one of their sealed, just like Jesse, right? The other thing about Jesse is like their packaging is like top notch.
Yeah.
But this is, you're not gonna be able to see it, but
could sort of see it. It's like a gold.
Yeah,
color,
it's
all you can tell.
Well, but yeah, so in Europe they do a lot of them do 750. So this is just like a Filamentum, but on Black Friday they had a $15 a roll sale shipped to my door in the U.S. and it took 3 days to get here.
Yeah,
3 days.
nice.
And they do a great job, man. And I just bought another 25 rolls from them because they have this color that nobody else has, this black with I'm probably gonna make it like this.
yeah,
Black,
I saw that.
black with gold.
Viking.
Yeah,
Yes.
there he is.
Speaking
I knew
of-
he'd find me.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking,
But if you get an order of $100, I think it's $100, they'll ship it to your door in the US for free. And it's like $22, $23 a spool. It's the best. I mean, and on Black Friday, they had it for $15 a roll shipped to your door in the US.
But it is 750s, right? It's not full kilos.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that if it's a decent filament. I'd almost rather more companies started doing the, $20 bracket for their fancy and go with 500 or 750 rolls, so you can at least play with it without shelling out 50 or 60 bucks with some of these, higher end filaments.
But even their packaging is like super cool. Like it's a black bag, but it's got a little cutout for it. Like if Jesse started doing this, because I bought pretty much everything I bought from him is this color, this black with gold in it, and that's my favorite Filamentum color. But Filamentum for a 750 roll like this is $39.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is just as good. It looks identical when it's printed. There's no difference in it.
It may be the same.
It might be. I don't know.
Isn't Filamentum a European German company or something?
I don't know where Filamentum is. I think
Eastern Europe somewhere.
no, Czech.
Up north is Sweden. So
Filamentum is Czech Republic. Yeah.
I was gonna say because you can get it way cheaper than we can, right?
Yeah.
Steven,
Yeah,
can you type
probably.
that brand name in chat just so I can see it?
Viking, have you used this stuff before or no?
Not yet. It's on my list of things to try though. I use Filamentum all the time though. But I really would like to test it that one.
I should get an affiliate link.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Filamentum to you is like us getting like not quite Jesse, but more like 3D Fuel or Coax or one of those.
It's not that cheap, but it's decently priced here. There are companies that provide it here in Norway, so it's more expensive than 3D Prima, but not the most expensive filament you can get.
The other
It's,
thing that they have,
middle.
the other thing that Ad North has is they have texture filaments, and they're more money, but they have the filaments that like print out kind of like Textura film. I don't know if you've seen Textura by I forget who makes it, but it's like different like densities and stuff. So
yeah.
I don't have the time or the crayons to explain this to you. That one definitely belongs in your school.
Well, Mr. Carnes had this delivered to me one day, and I was sitting here and I was like, what the hell did he send me? Because we were talking about crazy things like this, and then this showed up, and I was like, awesome. So I had it at work for a while, and when staff would come in and ask me like dumb questions, I would just pick my mug up and I'd go like this for a second. Then I'd take a drink, let them realize that they're asking me a dumb question. And then but now I was like, I need to bring it home because I'm going to be on home all weekend. I'm streaming. It's a nice thing to have on stream, let people see it.
Yeah.
So, I'm just not going to go there. Not going to do it.
Do it.
It's your stream, buddy. You ain't got to hold back. Come on.
This is my real channel, so,
Oh, I know. That's why I'm being a good boy. I'm bringing it back.
I don't mind the occasional, but let's not get crazy.
I'm in my cave, okay? Everybody, leave me alone. My gray walls, very rugged looking. Let's move the camera for the mini back to
Iraq.
So that didn't help.
Kind of looks like he is, honestly, now that you say that.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, if you can give us a
3D printing from the green zone.
Didn't it help anything with the cable? That didn't help upgrading.
like you got to give it a minute. It's got to go over a long ways.
All the way from Norway to the US, then to Iraq.
Oh wait, he's going to move the pop cans around. Hold on.
Is this what you needed? Are you missing this?
I thought you were going to adjust your bunny ears, Dan.
You gotta wiggle the bunny ears around so I can get good signal.
Remember
All right, back to 3D printing.
Remember when you
Yes,
used to put
back
oil
3D
on?
printing.
Yeah.
So
Quad copper.
anyway, I'm getting ready to print me some of the new that mixtape yellow. I'm getting ready to load that up, and then I'm gonna print me something with that.
I wish they had a premium box that would just have glitter filaments in it.
Yeah,
That's
like
my favorite.
Yeah.
I told them, like, if you charge $2 more for that, I would sign up for it. $2 more and you get the premium or whatever, the glitter filaments, I would sign up for that. The reason I stopped doing the Profi box is because at first I got tons of glitter filament, and then as time went on, I started getting brown. Brown and white. I'm like, fuck, I don't need brown and white.
No.
You can only print so many reindeers.
Yeah. So I'm building a top for my Sapphire. Yes.
What is that? A top?
Yeah, top for the Core XY. You see there.
Hey, what's going on with your big printer, Viking? Are you still working on that or no?
I'm still working on it. The next step now, though, is to get a bigger table so I actually can build it. The table is too small.
And that's a 500 by 500 printer, right?
600 by 600.
Oh my god!
Or maybe a little more.
You better have good bed leveling, man.
Yeah, I'm using A-Build. Easy A-Build from Tim.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I sent me one. So I'm going to use
I'm
that.
thinking about putting easy ABL on my rail core because that's what the Daedalus has.
Yeah.
And Tim at TH3D says you can get down to 0.003 accuracy, and I think that's not quite as good as a BL Touch, but the problem with the BL Touch on a bed on your bed, it would take 30 minutes to do the probing of it.
Yeah, the E-Sable is really quick.
Well, when I had my Easy ABL on my Sidewinder and it had a duet, I had it set up just like Prusa, where it goes da 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 like that. You can adjust it where it does extremely fast triggers, but
yeah. I've used it on the Tornado and the MD3. It's all on.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
It's a rascally raccoon.
Shit.
Yeah. Still waking up.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, you guys should check out that Ad North, man. That filament's amazing.
Probably order some soon.
Yeah, Filament Frenzy posted that in Twitter, and I had honestly never heard of it, so it's pretty awesome.
Speed, your issue with the profile box is exactly why I just canceled mine.
I know, it's just like who needs yellow and white? Like that. Nobody. I think you're buying it because when they sell it to you, they're saying the latest new and filaments and colors and stuff, and then you get it and you're like, I want the glitter stuff. I don't need more white and brown.
Those mirror adapters did look great in that glitter.
Even the printed solid box, he would have been, in my opinion, he would have done better if he would have put in premium filament in the first box because it's the first box, But I don't know. Just the normal colors a lot of people don't need, I already have tons of that stuff. So
and the tool or whatever the extra add-on they put in the profile box just isn't worth it anymore.
Well, that's true, but at least they put something in there. I mean, most of the time I can't use it anyways because it's like what is it? What is it normally, like a nozzle or one time they put E3D heat blocks in or the silicone socks, but I don't use those anyway. So
right. I think the best one I've ever gotten was the Reamer, but that's about it.
Like honestly, Alien 3D puts far better stuff. I mean, most of his stuff is cheap, cheaper stuff. But like his, what is that thing?
It's more fun, and you can repurpose it.
But like this, I got this in an Alien box. I don't know, a long time ago, and I use this thing every single day.
Yeah. When I first got into 3D printing, I bought the Filament Friday starter kit, which came with one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I have one of those too. Now that I think about it, but Josh, for the amount of money for the money that you pay an Alien box, pretty much every month you get a Arduino Nano pretty much every month.
Yep.
And you get some kind of tool that is actually useful. Like this month you got the 3D gloop and the tube, and I found this. This is awesome. Because my 3D gloop goes bad all the time.
I've never used it till now.
Well, see,
the tube is so much better. I wish they'd do more, and I had a chat with them about why they don't push it.
You know what? I find out when you take this off, it squirts everywhere like a volcano. For like I've lost a lot of this because I can't. It just squirts everywhere.
I don't use the tip. I unscrew the whole tip from the tube and just put a little micro hole in the aluminum.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't do that.
And just use the hole, which makes more sense. But the problem with the bottles are the minute you open it, you got about a month to use it. I don't care what the bottle is, what seal is. Once you open it that first time and air gets into that void, boom, it starts hardening.
Yep.
Where the tubes don't. I got the little sample tubes, and they last me like a year. Now, I like it because I do a lot of small glue up. If I were doing big glue up, I probably wouldn't even use glue because it seems to dry up too fast to get the coating on it.
Well, I put this speaker together, the speaker box together, and it is unreal how strong 3D gloop is. It is like, I mean, glue just does not even come close. But this is
it's like the old Tesla 3D model glue. I mean,
this came in Josh's Alien box this month, and I got to tell you, I'm like this is something I'll actually use. You know, like Zolan said, the filament one, half the stuff you don't use. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get the Jesse box, but I didn't have the money at the time to do it.
I juggled some things to make it happen myself, good sir. I was like, but I get what you're saying. Like, I wouldn't have got it if I didn't have the ability to juggle. So I was like, yes.
That's one box I probably would get, but
I mean, what you're getting is you're getting 2 inexpensive rolls of filament, right?
I'm getting 2 rolls of filament and free shipping because, well, no matter how you look at it, it's $35 for the 2 rolls and shipping. So you're paying $17.50 a roll instead of the normal $19. So even still, when you look at it, it's a savings of $2.50 a box, or like $2 a box every month. You know what I mean? So it's $4.
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing: he only charges $15 for his transition rolls. It makes it very clear you might end up with a transition roll.
Well, and that's the thing. He says it is Jesse products, whether it be he decides to come out with the PETG and he wants to push that out to the public. You know, instead of pushing out to the public, he sends it to us first. So we may end up at some point getting Jesse PETG. It's not just PLA. As he progresses, it may be a roll of PETG and a roll of PLA, or it may be 2 rolls of PETG or something else. So again, for me, it's just a matter of it's a monthly savings. If I'm going to buy 2 rolls or 3 rolls of Jesse every month anyway, I might as well just get the monthly box and then just play the gamble and see what I get. Because right now, for a guy like me, doesn't have a lot of filament, I'm kind of building up a stockpile where a lot of you guys will be like, hey, I'm going to throw $100 at filament this month. I can't necessarily do that, but I might be able to say I can throw, $40 at some filament this month. So I can put $40 aside, buy the box, and then get 2 rolls of filament that I didn't have or wasn't going to have. And it may be a color that I don't need right now, but with a project in the future, I may need it. You know what I mean? So for me, a guy like me, the Jesse box is great. I'm not saying anything against any of the other subscription boxes because I agree with you guys on the Alien box. I love the projects. And at some point, I will go back and start getting the Alien boxes again because I love the idea of having the gadgets, the projects. There's another company.
The fact that Alien also gives you the option to not do the samples, just do the.
You can get just the project box, yeah. So that's the thing is, it's like I can get just the project. There's another company out there too that I found out about during my giveaway. That's Cyber City Circuits. They do a monthly electronics gadget box too. So if that was something that I was looking at going forward, I could. You know what I mean? Like I love the fact there's other options out there, but when it came to the Jesse box, as soon as Dave was like 2 rolls of filament for $35 a month, I was like, deal, sold. I'm doing it because I'm trying to build up a stockpile of filament. So I have options. I have color choices. So even if it's something that I may not use today because the project doesn't call for it, down the road, I might need, I might need that color. So I'm glad it's going to be on the shelf, which speaking of shelves, there's going to be some back here soon.
I found out when I was using the MMU a lot, I needed colors like base colors like white, brown, yellow, right? But I think if I would have bought the Jesse box and I got that white in there, it would have been frustrating for me because the point is to kind of push is to see new filament that you wouldn't normally maybe buy.
Well,
and
yeah,
I wish you would have put at least 1 roll of glitter in it. I think that would have been cool. Well,
I'm sure that'll be coming going forward.
Like
I don't think it's just going to be, but that's what I mean. It's the he's rolling it out. It's something new for him. He's going to take feedback. He'll use that. I know we all know Dave. Dave listens to the community. He's not one of these companies that just says, okay, here's the complaint. If you have a complaint, send it to this email, and then it goes straight in the trash. Like Dave hears us. Dave understands. Dave's a part of this community. So I'm sure at some point, you got to start with something small, especially when it's something new you're getting into. Like, I mean, I know Dave. There was the Maker Box that, Printed Solid and the Maker Box were kind of sharing the same house for a while, and they were kind of going through a lot of the same things. But it just was one of those things where it's like Dave wanted to get just into the filament and selling parts and printers and things like that. And now he's like, you know, enough of the community has gone at him and said, hey, where's the Jesse box? We want a Jesse box. So Dave heard the community. He's doing it now.
I'm actually surprised he's doing it where, you know, his partner's doing the maker box. But the thing about it is, like he was saying, you know, add glitter or whatever. I don't look at the Jesse box, not that I have one, but I don't look at the Jesse box as a, I'm limited to 6, Greg. Sorry. Greg just hopped in. I'm on the free. I can't bring anybody else in.
Well, if you want, I can step out. I got to set up some printer stuff anyway and get some prints going. So I can step out. I'll be listening in the background.
He's gone anyways. If he wants to talk to him. But I look at the Jesse box as, like I do any Jesse filament. I buy Jesse filament because it's not expensive, but it's good. So if it screws up, I'm not worried about it. It's not like
I'm throwing this whole project away. This whole thing, this whole speaker box. This is 2 rolls of filament.
Yeah. Where if you did Jesse, it's acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm Jesse boxes is you're getting really cheap, good filament.
Yeah, I'm gonna reprint it but it's a roll and a half of Jesse slime green. I'm gonna throw it away.
But my point is like you were saying, you'd like to see some other. I don't see the Jesse box as this is a sample. You know, I get to try something new. The Jesse box is more. I get 2 rolls of inexpensive filament that I could just play with.
Well, again, the mixtape, that mixtape yellow is not something that was in the lineup, and it may or may not become part of the lineup. That was the whole point of the box is that we would get to see experimental stuff, new colors that maybe aren't available on the line. So these are all things that you got to remember is when you're paying for that, it's a gamble like every box is. You don't know what's coming in that box till it gets there. So again, it's a gamble just like that. There's no expectation. I'm paying $35 a month, and I know that it's a gamble for me. I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know what colors are in there, just like any other box. Like you don't know what samples are coming in a sample box. You don't know, like with Filament, like with Filament 1, you don't know what 2 rolls they're going to put in that box that month. You just open the box and go, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did David say that
the Jesse box, I would personally get it to try new products. I would get the Jesse box because it's 2 rolls of inexpensive filament that I don't care about what color. It's good. I mean, I buy his transition rolls all the time. Don't know what color it is. Don't care. I use it for printing, you know, prototypes and that's what it's perfect for. It's not, you know, if I wanted to try new filaments, I wouldn't want whole rolls. I would want samples or half rolls. I really wish more companies would do like 500 or less, even 250 millimeter rolls, especially their fancy stuff. So you can try it, but I mean, everybody hates samples when you get right down to it. They suck. They're a pain in the ass to print with. They're usually not enough to really do anything with.
True.
But if you get a 500 millimeter roll or even a 250, you can at least print something with it. You know, you can do your temp tower and your stringing towers and a couple of tests, and then still have enough to print something with a 250 roll. Where samples you can't. You print your little whatever, you know, your little MakerBot thing or your Benchy, and you're done. You get one item out of it, and you really can't. You basically set up, learn how to print with it, and it's too late. You're done.
Now, did David say that every box is going to have 2 rolls of full, you know, 2 full spools, or is he going to change it up?
No, it's 2 full rolls of Jesse brand product. That's what he says, because it may be PLA, or like I said, he is looking, and a lot of us already know, we've talked to him, he's talked to us on streams about this, that he is setting up a PETG line. He's looking to perfect the PETG, and when he's got it to the point where he's happy with it, I'm sure PETG will start showing up in the box too, because it's Jesse branded product. And if the PETG takes off, he may look into like an ASA or something else. We don't know, because he don't know yet. He's still growing things. So
right. So maybe what he needs to consider in the future maybe is another box that just has samples that has smaller quantities.
Well, and
So you,
it very well
what-
could be something.
And the
you know.
ability to select what filament type, because not everybody likes PETG.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying that the
But
PETG
you
is
can get the
something.
bigger
You got to
box.
remember that is it may be as this thing grows. We got to like these are suggestions. Like one night it'd be great if we could get Dave, or one night we could get Dave to come on a stream with us and then like tell him like here's some suggestions from people in the community. These are things we'd like to see. He can make his notes, and as he goes forward and things progress, he can start adding or taking away or changing. But with it being the first one, that's where, like, see, with me, I understand. It's the first. This is the first one he's offering as a company, as a brand. He's saying, here it is. So it's out there. We signed up for it. We got it. The mixtape yellow, as soon as I start printing, it's a cool color. And, I mean, it's not something that's currently on the site for anybody to buy. So I'm not unhappy with my $35 purchase for the month of January. I'm not unhappy with it because I got something that not everybody else has in their arsenal right now. It may become available, but as of right now, only those of us who got the box got the color.
Again, he's never going to do samples because then he's competing with his partner who's doing the maker box. You got to remember his partner does maker box.
Oh, okay.
Are they still partnered? Because I thought that he moved out of the building and they're not really.
They are. They aren't. I mean, they're still.
Okay,
friends.
that's what I was going to say because I thought that he moved out of the building, and from what Dave's been saying, he's not next door in the building. Anything? Dave's kind of taken over that whole building, and he moved.
No, he's like 2 buildings down now.
But Printed Solid acquired that company.
But they've since separated. If you go back and look at it.
Okay, here's the thing. Matt started Printed Solid on his own. He took Dave in as a partner because Dave had more of the machining knowledge than Matt did. Matt had some personal, financial, family issues and basically the company got bigger than he ever expected it to. And he just didn't want to deal with it. And he had, issues. So he didn't want to deal with it anymore. He basically said, Dave, buy me out real cheap, take over the company, and I'm going to keep MakerBox as my hobby. MakerBox is his hobby. Matt has a real life job doing other things. But the deal was that, for one, they're just friends, so they're not going to burn each other.
No.
Right. And realize that MakerBox
Dave will, just because he's a good guy, will never try and do anything like MakerBox as long as Matt's doing MakerBox because they're friends. They get along. He's a good guy. If someday Matt says, I don't want to do MakerBox anymore, sure, he might just take it over and make it the, Printed Solid box or take over MakerBox again. But MakerBox was actually going under until Matt bought them out. They were having a hard financial time because they couldn't get the filament cheap enough.
They could just get nothing
because through Printed Solid, they were buying larger volumes. They had a bigger marketing scheme. They already had shipping contracts. It was cheaper for them to do the MakerBox because of Printed Solid. So they made, MakerBox work because everything was basically cheaper for them. They were buying larger volumes of the filament. If they had to eat the filament, it wasn't a big deal because they just put it in the store and they could sell it outright.
You said something about eating in front of a trash panda. Come on now.
Trash panda.
They could just put samples of Jesse in the MakerBox. Like I didn't realize they were building it. So
he has a few times, I think. But also,
but like I said, guys, I mean,
never see
it's
Jesse
one of those things where
alien boxes because he won't sell to Josh just because.
I thought we saw Jesse in a film in one of the alien boxes already.
Nope.
I don't know.
For that, Josh can outright buy it and do it on his own, which I think he has done.
Okay, that's probably what he did because I remember was either this month or last month I was going, ooh, Jesse.
But
yeah, I like what Greg has to say there about that. At the end of the day, you save $3 and you get free shipping on 2 rolls. So where you normally would go to the site and buy over $45 and get free shipping, you get $35 in free shipping. You get 2 rolls of filament. it's a deal. Whether you want it or not, it's an option. Right now, it's not, because those of us who wanted it signed up for it and got it.
I
For those
get
of us who wanted it and couldn't get signed up because Dave had the cutoff, we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed he'll open it up.
Which is
hopefully
actually good, because that's one of the issues that some of the other box makers are having, is they're overloaded.
Yeah, and they're getting to the point where their monthly is, they're getting backed up behind or whatever, or they realize that in order to keep the manpower to keep the boxes going, they're actually taking a loss by the time they figure in product and manpower. So, open it up a little at a time and make it available, X amount so often, open up to a few more, and that way you can help make sure that your cost stays, or your profit is at least there.
I think it's brilliant to to have a consistent number of subscribers, because you know exactly what you're going to order.
Yep.
Yeah, you get free shipping over $45 with Printed Solid, which is 3 rolls. You end up spending like $60 to get your free shipping.
$60 free shipping.
Hey,
and you get 3 rolls, or you can pay $35 and get 2 rolls with free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping is the killer when it comes to that stuff. It's like I have a hard time buying any filament from Josh, not because I want to buy some of Josh's filament. I just can't spend $30 on a roll of filament and then $25 to ship it to me. It just I can't do it, even if I want to.
Josh has a limit too, where he ships for free too, right?
Huh?
I bought when he publicly told Filamentum to get bent. I bought like 20 rolls from him, and I think he did the shipping included. So
yeah, but I think it's like $150 or something he's got to do.
By the way, if there's still Filamentum on there, if you use the code BUBBUY, you can get it for like 20-30% off. So
I don't think there's much left.
There's the blue still on there, and there's still some gold happens on there.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna
so
say,
Viking,
I think I got some of the gold.
What was that purple filament that you're opening up?
What did you say?
What was that purple filament you had?
Oh yeah, this is Prima Selects from 3D Prima.
Oh, it looks a lot like Ad North then, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that glittery?
No, not glitter. It's only a silk, but it looks odd. Let's try.
The spool looks very similar to Ad North.
Yeah,
he likes his little glittery filament. He's all glittery.
The 3D Prima
these are also from Sweden.
Oh, they're from Sweden too?
Yeah. It's good filament, and it's decently priced.
I'm telling you, I'm a Sweden fanboy now for filament.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they can ship to my house faster than I can get TH3D to send me a fan. That's true.
That's crazy.
And it's not on TH3D. I mean that's just the difference between domestic shipping and international shipping. I mean DHL is so fast.
Oh yeah. Really,
and the boxes
I got some stuff from the US in less than 1 day with DHL.
You can?
Yeah, I've done that before. I don't know.
Is it expensive though?
Yeah, it was pretty expensive. Not too bad since it was from the US, but it wasn't the cheapest option of shipping, but it was fast as well.
A lot of European countries make it hard to ship into because they charge so much VAT and import tax, and the US doesn't have a lot of that.
We don't have any import tax on most products, but we have VAT and we have handling fee.
Yeah.
So if the business doesn't collect VAT on when you buy it, you have to pay that and the handling fee, and that's about the handling fee is about $45, I think.
Hey, so we're gonna have a VAT tax pretty soon too. Probably 2022 we'll have a VAT tax.
Yeah.
I can buy stuff from AliExpress and pay $1 for shipping, so it comes from China. Now it takes a while, but
yeah,
it costs
takes
me
30 to 50 days.
but it costs me
Gonna be about 60 days now, because in another week they go on their little Christmas holiday, New Year holiday. So
Yeah.
and it goes into New Year holiday in a week or two.
But it cost me $9 to ship something to Washington State.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I just don't.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what people don't get. The reason Chinese shipping is so cheap is because the Chinese government pays it. Chinese government has a shipping, whatever. They pay all the shipping. That's how they get everything out into the world, because the government is paying the shipping no matter what. If you're a big Creality company and you're putting out 500,000 printers, or you're a little itty bitty company that makes 10 products a day, they don't care. They want Chinese products out in the world. So the government pays the shipping. We don't have that.
I usually pay a little bit for shipping from
That's
China.
why
I
it's
feel
so
like
cheap.
e-packets. It's way quicker than standard free option usually. I got the things from China for within one week, actually. 1 to 2 weeks maybe. By selecting e-packet instead, it's much faster.
Gentlemen, I know Greg had said something about wanting to pop in a little bit ago. I need to go get a cup of coffee, which is in the house anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and drop out. I'll be listening in the background, hanging out. And if the seat's still open, I'll jump back in.
Your internet just got really good, Dan. Like really good now. What'd you do?
Well, my internet dropped. I think that my service provider decided to reset some stuff over this way, because I was sitting here watching you guys, then all the squares went black.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this damn internet again. Really? And everything was just black. So I'm like, we'll see how long it takes to come back. It took about a minute for it to come back. So if I was like not moving for a minute, that's why.
It looks like you went from Baghdad to Sweden.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly. I got some Swiss chocolates hiding in here now. This is my chocolate factory.
I'm going to
start off for a bit
kill
too.
it about 10 or 15 anyways, because I gotta go make mom lunch.
Oh,
All right. Well, then, in that case, I'm going to go get some coffee. If nobody else is streaming, when he comes back, hint there, Zolan. If you're not doing anything, start a stream, and then I'll join yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off for a bit too. Don't save my spot. Thanks for letting me hang out, Llama.
Yep.
No problem.
We'll see you guys all later. I got to get some more coffee.
Oh,
Everyone's leaving.
well, because you got us all worked up, and now you're going to drop us off.
yeah, disappointed.
You're blue balling us, Llama.
I kind of have to, unless you're going to come feed my mother, I kind of have to do my.
I have your address. You want me to send you some Grubhub?
There is no Grubhub
Hey, you know
around
what?
here.
I never thought about that. I should have sent you. I could send you a pizza or something.
You can't. Nothing around here will do it.
Oh,
I'm too far away from. I'm
Enough
right in the middle of nothing. There's everything over there in Niantic, and there's everything over here in the center of town. But I'm in that 5 mile or more zone where no one will deliver to me. I have my local pizza place. If I call and go, "Hey Teddy, I need a pizza and I can't get out," he would come and deliver it, because we've known each other for 35, 40 years. And he,
How far is it?
He knows my parents, but
How far is it, Llama, to a pizza place?
most are about 5 miles. Teddy's less.
That's not bad.
He's within like 2 or 3 miles, but he'll deliver. He doesn't deliver, but he will just literally. If I called and said, "Hey, dude, I need a pizza delivered," he would deliver it himself. I know he would. I just wouldn't do that to him. I mean, he's trying to run his freaking business in the middle of COVID, and
No.
I'll go freaking pick it up.
Well,
But
where
yeah, nothing delivers around here.
I'm like 10 miles from everything up here, and I get pizzas delivered up here. I mean, it takes
everything around here has a 5 mile limit, and everything is like right at that 5 miles or more.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Not really. You know what that just means? It means I save money, because I don't freaking buy a bunch of junk food I don't need.
Yeah. I get, you know what I've been
I got a bag of junk food over here. Puppy!
I started using Instacart, and it's awesome, man. You get your groceries, you feel the hair floating around. But I get my groceries delivered from Costco in like an hour.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we started
Right,
doing
I do that.
imperfect foods. That way we can start getting more veggies.
Yeah.
My
But
problem with Instacart
that Instacart is $99 a year, and you can use it every day if you want for free. And I probably get Costco deliveries. You know, I don't know, 3 times a week. And it's
you people who live in cities.
I don't live in a city, Nolan. I live out in the middle. I live out in the middle of the desert.
I am 83 miles away from the closest Costco.
Well, I'm 30 miles from the nearest Costco, but it takes about an hour and a half, and they're at my door. Pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah, and the good thing about Instacart is a shopping network. It's not Costco. They'll do all of your local. Like I have it when I do them. They'll go to Costco, they'll go to Walmart, and they'll go to Big Y before they come here, and they'll shop all 3 of them for you.
Yeah, that's what I do too. You get Sam's Club, Costco, Safeway, and you can do it all in one shot. And what's really cool is they have a preset tip, so you don't have to worry about like feeling like a scumbag when they show up.
Zip code not available. Please enter a valid U.S. zip code.
Is that what yours says?
That's what Instacart kicks back.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Sorry.
You're too far out in the boonies.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like the Unibomber.
I use Instacart, and we actually get it for free because I use my mother's name, and where she's over 83, they just charge a flat $5, and I don't have to sign up for the monthly or weekly subscription or whatever. Yeah. They just charge us a flat $5. They auto add the tip, and where I get it so cheap, I always add an extra couple, $3-5 to the tip.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is you never can select it, and they're pretty good, but
pretty good.
Like I got ham. I wanted to get sliced ham for a sandwich. So they were doing Costco. So I said, okay, Costco sliced ham. They brought me the whole freaking ham.
Yeah.
It was like $30 freaking.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know what, if you complain though, Llama, they'll take it right off your bill. No questions asked.
Yeah, but then, I almost feel bad for the kids shopping because it's some, it's.
I know.
But I always get the same girl. I don't know why, but which is fine. She's good. But I don't want to bust her ass either. You know what I mean? And I know with those kind of companies, if they take it off, it comes out of her pocket.
Well, one time I got a block of cheese, Tillamook cheese, and when I got it in the bag and I opened it, it was moldy. The whole thing was moldy. I can't even believe they picked it up.
Yeah.
And
how did they get that at? Costco's normally better than that.
No, they got it at a Safeway, but the packaging was loose.
Enough said.
And on the bottom, it was moldy on the bottom, and they credited it back to me right away, and then they made them bring me a new one. So. But
that comes out of the shopper's pocket, which in that case I have no problems with it coming out of their pocket because they should look.
What else is cool is they deliver booze too.
Not here.
You can deliver alcohol. You can have alcohol.
They won't do booze here, but that's a state thing. They're not allowed to.
Oklahoma state law are not allowed to ship booze.
That's because we're the last free state in the union. But anyways, I digress.
You're not the last. Florida's the same way, dude. You can do that in Florida too.
You do it in Washington State.
Florida has drive-up pre-made drinks for crying out loud. Yep. You can drive up, go to a freaking McDonald's window and say, "I want a rum and Coke," and they'll hand you a cup.
In Arizona, you can do that. You can still you get booze to go. I walk around every day with a 40 caliber on my hip, and as do many other Arizonans. And I'm telling you, this place is like the Wild West here, man. It's awesome.
No, I know.
No, it's not.
There.
Huh?
No, it's not.
What? No, it's not.
It's not like the Wild West, because what a lot of people don't remember is in the Wild West, all those little towns, you had to actually hand your gun over just to be in town.
But here, like you go to the grocery store, it's super common to see people pack guns.
Oh yeah,
here. That's the way it is.
Dude, I've been to Arizona. 3 times this year so far?
Yeah. And I tell you, when I first moved here from Washington State, I walked into a grocery store and I was like, holy shit.
Where in Washington?
I'm from Everett.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That explains it.
I take that back. I don't like to claim Everett. I'm from Mukilteo or Lake Stevens. It depends.
Mukilteo is actually the first place we moved to when we moved from Alaska.
Mukilteo is badass. I love Mukilteo. Yep. Mukilteo is great.
Anyway, I got to kill it because I got to go feed mom. So, y'all have a good day. Hopefully, someone will be streaming in a bit because I'll probably be back in a half an hour or so after.
Let me spin mine up here. Give me a quick second.
Yeah, I'm not allowed on Dolan streams. I'm blocked.
No, you're blocked on Twitter. You're not blocked on YouTube.
Hey, Zolan, Mama hasn't blocked me yet.
I will say there's one good thing about Facebook that I've loved since the whole political BS.
Yeah.
Facebook has a 30-day sleep where you can just click on someone you disagree with or don't want to fight with anymore.
They still see your posts.
30 days, and then they come back.
And they still see your posts.
I just stopped going on Facebook.
I don't care as long as I don't have to see theirs.
Stop it.
They can see my posts all they want. They can't respond, and I don't have to see them.
I just stopped going on Facebook altogether. I only go on for the groups, and that's it.
Yeah, well, I got my
use it for chat
that I run, and that's it.
In the
I don't
private.
even do it. Matter of fact, I think I got kicked out of the regular 3D printing group.
Me too. I got kicked out of Work Hockey's group.
I never was in his group, so
yeah. If you say Work Hockey's wrong, you get booted.
yeah. He's definitely got an attitude, but I like anybody. I do too. You do too. So everybody does.
I don't
You're
have
muted.
that.
Go on if you're trying to talk. I don't know why you're muted, but
Oh, sorry, dog. What?
your little raccoon mouth going, and you're muted. I don't know if you're actually talking, unless you're talking to your wife or something. Here comes
I'm
Matt.
muted because I'm talking on my stream that I just spun up.
Oh, perfect timing, Matt. I'm killing it. I gotta
Hey,
go
Henry.
I'm killing
I
it.
gotta go. Yeah, go
I thought I
join
came
Zolan.
to print
Yeah.
dictionary.
All right, guys. I'll see you.
Yep. So my stream's up and running. If anybody wants to join, hey,
Stop.
Yeah.
So go join Zolan stream, Matt. I'm gonna kick it out like literally right now.
Oh, you going all? Okay. All right then.
Yeah,
See you
we're
then.
leaving.
That's what I said.
Zolan, he posted a link. Go to Zolan stream, Matt. Anyway, I'm out. See ya. Bye, everybody. Been a beautiful morning.